So your new beginnings, I want you to grab a hold of is God has given you a gift of new beginnings. So we've allowed our past to bury us. We have allowed our last worst moment to define us. And that's not the way life is. What you're going to see this morning is you are who he says you are. And what happens is when you get a grasp of your true position, it will always alter your perspective. And one of the biggest things that we struggle with, in fact, it's what the enemy challenged Jesus with, was his identity. And many of us have never been taught who we truly are. So we're always seeking for something new, something different, something that would change our lives, something that would improve our lives. So we work so hard and we wonder why we always feel defeated. Jesus understood this. He spoke to a group of people that did more than we could ever imagine to try to be right and measure up with God. And he said this to him one day. He said, "Are you tired? Are you weary? Come to me." And so for him to say that, he said, "I will give you rest." I often ask people, if you're going to describe one word that would tell people about your relationship with God, would it be rest? And what does that mean? That we don't do anything? And here's what I want you to hear. It's not on your notes. Just grab this one. All right. You see, we're resting in what he has done. And that empowers us to fulfill everything he's ever spoke over us. So it's not about resting as I just hang around and just wait for something to happen. No, you rest in what he has done. And that's the hardest thing there is, because out of where we came in this broken world, we're always told what we have to do. And here's what I want to tell you. It's not about what you have to do. It's always about who you are. So let's dive into this. So we're looking at a new year, a new beginning. And I was thinking about this, and it's crazy because when most of us look at New Year, we think of what? A new beginning, a new start. In fact, in America, more than any other place, we have these things called New Year's what? Resolutions. And let's just think about that for a second, because you begin to picture something and that you're not, or create an expectation of what you could be if. And what we're saying right there is that we think there's really something missing with us. And if there's something missing with you, then what do you need to do? Well, you need to do whatever is necessary to what? To fill the space that's missing. And yet those things just never seem to work. See, unless there's a change inside you, you're just going to get weary of trying. And what happens if we're not careful is we set people up for just trying harder. You know, the number one books that are in the Christian bookstore are self-help books. And that in itself is just disastrous. Because you couldn't bring yourself into a relationship with God, and you can't keep yourself in a relationship with God. And so we really have to grasp and understand this gift of new beginnings. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so glad that I'm not defined by my worst moment, and I'm not loved because of my best moment.